I think I'm about to tell you, Mom Talk is not gonna survive this. It feels like it's going on a spiral that it might not end well, and I don't know how they're going to survive this. We have people leaving the show, we have people potentially not returning, and then we have the people who want to go on their own and create their own show, and it is getting to be chaotic AF. Like, honestly, like, I'm just thinking of this and I'm like, there is a difference between drama and then just like completely shitting on absolutely everyone that you have built. And I feel that that line is like very, like, weak. And girl, we need to talk about it. But before we start, welcome back. I'm the real Andy of Beverly Hills. Welcome to another piece of tea. If you are new here, welcome to Beverly Troop, where I keep it real and I mention it all. So make sure to subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And girl, let's talk about this mess. Secret Life of Mormon Wives. Such a good show. I mean, it is a good show. It is amazing. It has been giving us so much. These ladies are not afraid to put absolutely everything on the line. I think that's why it get to be so successful, because as TikTokers, TikTok doesn't care for beauty. TikTok doesn't care for perfection. TikTok is about being raw, being real, and just put everything out there, the way it is. I literally look for my reviews for restaurant, hotels, experiences on TikTok. I don't want to see a TikTok from the company. No, I want to see a TikTok from the people who went and experienced that place or situation and see with my own eyes what really is about, to make my own opinion, right? Because that's how raw TikTok really is. And that translation into TV, it makes for great reality TV. Because the problem with reality TV right now is that a lot of people are afraid to be who they really are, right? They're always thinking what people are gonna say, how are they gonna react. Perfect example is Real Housewives, have been going on for so long. Housewives now are very edited, they tend to be very overly produced, because they care more about what they're going to portray than to show who they really are, right? But Secret Life of Mormon Wives does not have that. They are unhinged, they go at it, they show everything, they talk about everything, and it is what it is. However, this next season is about to be rough. Now, season 5 was initially put on pause while everything kind of like gets sorted out. Now there is still the question if Taylor is really going to return to the show or not. Everyone is saying that she's fine, that she's actually going to be returning, but there has not been like a lot of like confirmation, even though they're gonna start filming soon, and I don't know if Mom Talk will survive without Taylor. I like some of the other women, but I don't have anyone has the actual power to control and produce Mom Talk, right? And because, let's be very clear, I think the 3 power heads on this on Mom Talk are Taylor, Whitney, and Demi. And Demi, girl, she gone. And Whitney, well, Whitney has officially said that she is leaving the Secret Life of Mormon Wives. She is leaving Mom Talk. She announced it during her last performance of Chicago, and she is done so. I think they're gonna be moving. I think she's gonna be moving to, actually no, I don't know exactly when. I saw Michaela, or someone moving to Hawaii. I don't know. I might be confused, but anyways, I know Whitney's moving somewhere else. I think she found her passion doing Broadway. She has been successful doing that, and I think she's gonna go and pursue those dreams. I think she's gonna get into the acting world. She's going to do something completely different, and she doesn't have to put up with the reality TV bullshit anymore. Whitney has always been kind of like a love-hate situation, because there were moments that I was like, this bitch, and there were moments that I was like, okay, no, I get you, I understand you, right? Her husband, I mean, the middle of so many rumors, gay rumors, everything, and then you learn about, you know, him being, you know, sexually assaulted, you know, and all of that. So it kind of like really put everything into perspective. They have so much to give, you know, so I wouldn't even be surprised if maybe they're gonna work on another reality TV show, but apparently they are living Secret Life of Mormon Wives. Again, I feel that money talks, so like unless Hulu really like do something to like bring them back, I think they're gonna be gone. And with Taylor, well, you know, the accusations were very bad. The video was very bad. It cost her the Bachelorette. However, she was just absolved from, you know, the whole case. A judge was basically saying this is not domestic violence, you know, and that could like change things a little bit more. But even though she might be safe from a legal point of view and like from like show business, the fans are really kind of like upset with Taylor right now. She has been lying so much. She's been being toxic with Dakota, sleeping together, ruining the Bachelorette. Like the whole thing just feels like weird, and like I don't know if they're going to be respecting Taylor like anymore, because she's literally giving us that behavior of Hannah and Marciano in Vanderpump Villa, right? So I don't know, that's kind of like weird over there. So like if Taylor doesn't return, who is going to really lead Mom Talk, right? Who is really gonna take us? Now, Hulu announced a spin-off, which is going to be Secret Life of Mormon Wives Orange County. We're not gonna get that for a while. And apparently that talk is pushing really hard on Hulu to get their own show, because they believe that talk can stand on their own legs, you know. Look, this is becoming like what Real Housewives was, you know, like none of these women are married anymore, none of these women are wives anymore. I think just like a couple, like one, I think Macy, I think is the only one who's still married, and oh well, and Jen is also married, right? But now it's becoming another thing with everyone is like single, and yes, you have kids, but now you're gonna be living the single life. And now that talk is basically saying, well, we can also live the single life. In fact, actually, I was watching yesterday the episodes of Vanderpump Villa with that talk, right? And I was like saying to my husband, I was like, this is so boring, you know, like I was expecting more from this, because when Mom Talk went on Vanderpump Villa, they were like doing all of this shit, you know, flirting with the staff, like doing all of these inappropriate things, but it was good reality TV. And then we have that talk not doing anything because they are afraid that they're gonna be being caught or being called cheaters or whatever. And I was like, this is so dumb. I believe that maybe that talk should return next season, now that everyone is basically single. You know what I mean? Or even better, bring Mom Talk and Dad Talk together and surround them by a hot single people willing to get down and dirty, you know? But anyways, that's another story. So Dad Talk, apparently they want to have their own spin-off, and they are pushing Hulu. And Hulu might be listening, because even though a lot of you don't really like Dad Talk has a lot of fans. Now the only thing hurting them is that Dakota apparently is leaving show business. You know, he literally did a whole statement like a week ago or something like that he will be leaving show business for good. And we all need a villain. Look at what is happening at the Valley in Bravo. You know, Jax Taylor is any longer there, and it is boring. Okay, so we need a villain who knows it's a villain and who does not give a shit what people say or do, because he or she is the villain, you know. So we need that. So I don't know, everything is pretty much like in the air, even though the show is green light, even though the show is gonna start filming again. I think it was Michaela who was literally talking about like also moving. So I feel like everyone is kind of like going in their own direction. So like unless you reboot it, you create a new Mom Talk, or you do something different, I don't know how Mom Talk is going to survive this. So anyways, let me know what you guys think on the comments below. What do you think about all of this? Should Dad Talk have their own spin-off? And is Mom Talk going to survive this? Let me know. And if you're going to get all the tea related to The Secret Life of Mormon Wives or any of the other Bravo shows, make sure to like this video, share this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll see you around. See ya. Bye.